Hello and welcome. This is Dennis Westman, your instructor, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about Unit D in your Excel textbook. So if you would, as we have done in previous times when you're watching the video, would you please turn to Excel Unit D and let's go through and talk a little bit about the highlights of that unit. And it actually begins on page 80, and this chapter really talks about designing and preparing to make charts within Excel. And so the first page on page 80 talks a little bit about planning your chart, and the key points that the section talks about is to determine the purpose of your chart, determine the results you want to see, identify your data, and then finally understand the different elements of the charts. And so that's sort of the highlights on how you actually go about planning a chart. And over on the right hand side there are common chart types that are inherent to Excel. Those include the column chart, which are columns of data in a chart, line charts, which are typically just lines with key points on the chart. Then there's also a pie chart, which is probably one of the most common you're probably familiar with. There's also a bar chart. So the bar charts run horizontally, the column charts run vertically. So bar chart, column chart. An area is similar to a bar and column, except it shows the changes and sort of fills in the area. It kind of looks like mountains if you want to get real simplistic about it. And then a scatter chart just compares trends over different times, and it's typically a bunch of dots you'll see scattered throughout. So that's really the main types of charts available. Now on page 82 it actually goes into the detailed steps about creating a chart, and what you're going to do typically is do something with regards to selecting kind of data you want to use, and then from that you're able to go in and then pick the type of chart that you want to create. So that's really the straightforward way you go about creating a chart. On page 84, the charts once created then become essentially like a piece of clip art. You can move and resize the charts by dragging the little handles around the corners. It makes it real easy to move it around, resize it. Everything will automatically scale, and you can move it anywhere on the sheet where your data is, or ultimately to another spreadsheet if you want. And then page 86 is talking about the changing of the chart design. And like maybe you want to change the colors, maybe you want to change the way the bars or columns are, or maybe you want to change it from like a column chart to a bar chart. That's how you can do it throughout options using the chart design. And in the chart format, this allows you to change all the little particulars about it, like and I'm sorry, I'm on page 88. The chart format allows you to change the particulars like the grid lines, the titles, on the various axes. On the left hand side you'll have some titles and you'll have some values. Down at the bottom horizontally you'll have some values in a title. You'll have a legend, you'll have a title at the top. All of those can be changed within the chart format area. And then page 90 talks about some additional items that you can format. Essentially you can change the fill, you can change colors and style, and then what's nice about it is as you highlight the different kind of color options, you'll be able to see sort of what the chart will look like, kind of like a preview sort of thing. And then you can annotate and draw on a chart, and this is talked about in page 92. And this is essentially going in and adding like a text box or something like that to just sort of highlight certain things. Or maybe you want to draw a line with an arrow that highlights a certain bar or column. That is available and is talked about on page 92. And then finally, the last section, page 94, is just creating a pie chart. This is simply selecting the data and then running that through the chart creator to create a quick basic pie chart. And that pretty much sums up the highlights of Unit D, working with pie charts, column charts, bar charts, those kinds of things. As usual, if you have any questions that are general related to the class material for this week, please post to the general class chat in the discussion area. Other questions specifically related to your grades, those kinds of things, need to be addressed directly to me. Again, as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you, and have a great day.